Over the past few years, the Misty Copeland Foundation has been dedicated to serving under-resourced communities through dance. In the fall, the foundation launched the Be Bold program, providing an accessible and affordable way for kids to learn ballet. We're chatting with the director of the Be Bold program, Sindy Folgar, about the impressive impact they're making on children in New York City. This is Advocate Now. Well, Sindy, it's so great to have you with us. And the Misty Copeland Foundation is just doing some amazing work to serve children in under-resourced communities through dance. The foundation recently created the Be Bold program. Tell us about Be Bold and how it started.
Sure. Thank you for having me. Yes, so the Misty Copeland Foundation and the signature program Be Bold was launched last September. And we were able to have some sessions in September, and then now we're in the spring session. But it came about from Misty's desire to use her platform to diversify ballet and to offer opportunities to children to learn ballet, to learn about dance history, music, to hopefully learn about themselves, to be creative. And most importantly, we want them to get the tools to become leaders. And also, hopefully, they are able to develop an artistic voice. The BEBO program, the acronym means Ballet Explorations. Ballet offers leadership development. And so, a little bit of background of ballet. Ballet is an aesthetic art form, and it has been very exclusive and exclusionary of certain populations throughout history. So we are trying to change that narrative. And we understand the importance of representation and all the benefits of dance education and how that can help our youth.
Yeah, through Be Bold, you're making ballet accessible and affordable because ballet and I think dance in general can be an extremely expensive activity. But how can access to dance transform a child's life?
Yeah, well, based on the research and also my personal experience as a dancer, former dancer and dance educator, and now dance administrative, I know that students are able to develop their social emotional learning capacities in specific areas of self awareness, social awareness, decision making skills, and empathy, which is so needed right now in the current world that we live in. Also, we created a logic model in collaboration with expert advisors, more specifically Dr. Jess, who is a developmentally psychology and evaluation and assessment expert. And through the program, we are aiming to build mastery of the terminology of ballet, of course, learn the basic ballet skills, which also have to do with physical coordination and the body mind connections. But we also are hoping that these students are able to improve their listening skills, which can be translated to many areas of their lives, enhance their leadership skills, develop a deeper knowledge of the self, and also the dance, art, music, and arts in general. So all these aspects of what we're trying to do can have connections to larger systems, how they navigate the world. So it's not just existing in a vacuum of a ballet class, but these are elements that will help them in their life as they grow up.
And I love that this program is also serving an unmet need for quality after school programs. It's an issue that disproportionately impacts communities of color. Why is that something that the Misty Copeland Foundation is passionate about?
Absolutely. Yes. So Misty and I and Black and Brown dancers around the world have experienced rejection and exclusion at some moment within the art form, specifically for ballet. That it's an aesthetic art form, so we might not have the correct body, et cetera, et cetera. And so we are really trying to level the playing field for the communities of color, and we want them to understand that there's nothing wrong with them. That is the system that needs to change, that needs to be more equitable and really see beauty in all sizes and places. And we want the students to understand that through hard work, passion, dedication, there's multiple pathways to success. And Misty's story is the perfect example. Despite her late start and all the difficulties that she has experienced, she made it. And I know for a fact, based on all the students that we're meeting and how much they admire her, it her experience created a spark in all these young, impressionable minds and hearts. And now they have someone to look up in within the ballet framework. And for as me, as my experience as well, I came from Guatemala. I'm originally from Guatemala, born and raised there. I'm an immigrant. I also faced a lot of adversity, but I made it into the dance world. Not as a dancer as Misty, but I made it into a dance educator. I'm an arts administrator. I have been able to share my passion and experiences with so many youth. And so there's different pathways to be successful in life. And that is one of the most important things. So we want them to know that they can really achieve anything that they set their minds and hearts to do.
And ballet is just such a beautiful form of creativity and self-expression. And it has been proven to help children in ways that many of us wouldn't even think of, like some of which you touched on: social emotional skills, problem solving skills, even language skills. Have you noticed some of that growth in the children enrolled in your programs?
Absolutely. I mean, we are a young and new foundation in non-for-profit organizations, but um, I know for a fact the benefits of dance education. But based on the BBO program, and we started last semester, as I said, in the fall, we're slowly collecting the data, but we are able to see the changes in our students already. We already see how they understand what the rules of the class are. The patterns and how they really listen to the instructions, and then they think critically about how to solve problems. They're developing their creative thinking, and I think creativity really can change the world. And so having the opportunity to be creative and to think differently, to think outside of the box, but also work together and develop empathy and kindness towards each other. After the first session, which was 12 weeks, we were able to see a class that was celebrating each other's achievements, that was able to work together, that the students had a sense of pride in what they have learned. They felt empowered with the material and the vocabulary, the terminology, the steps that they accomplished. The kids looked larger, bigger, just more mature, and very happy to have an experience that they wouldn't have been able to have.
Well, Be Bold, you mentioned, launched, relatively recently, but it
Yeah,
launched at the Boys and Girls Club of America in New York City. And Misty was once a student at her local Boys and Girls Club. So has that full circle moment been inspiring for the team?
absolutely. I mean, it's for Misty. I know based on the conversations we've had, it's just a dream come true to give back in the place where she started. And so, besides the fact that the Boys and Girls Club of America are in alignment with a lot of the things that we are trying to accomplish, like positive youth development and having positive adults. Connecting with students, mentorship, which is also very important for us, and then just giving them a safe place to grow and experience. So it's also because she started there and she wanted to give back to that community, but the Boys and Girls Clubs are doing really great work, and is supporting our mission and our goals for the program. So it's just a perfect synergy between the two organizations.
And what are your hopes for these kids as they get older and continue to develop their dance skills?
I really think that dance education gives them an array of different abilities and skills, and we need that in our youth to change our future, because it's tough right now. And so we really need creative thinkers, kind human beings that can be empathetic towards one another, that can celebrate each other's successes and like accompany each other when things don't go the way we want. Um, we want to encourage these kids to take agency over their learning, and that's what this program is doing. So I think that if we have more of these types of programs across the nation, we can really start to shift the needle to a more equitable and more empathetic and kind future. So it's truly important, the work that we are doing through ballet and dance education.
Well, Sindy, thank you so much for all the work that you're doing through Be Bold, and we appreciate you talking with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. A pleasure.
I'm Sonia Baghdadi. Thanks for watching and advocating. For more stories and content like this, visit advocate.com and advocatechannel.com.